Good morning, children. So, now we will start with another topic, that is individual differences in intelligence. As we all know, that individual difference means how one individual or one person is different from another. But here, specifically, we will be studying about the differences in intelligence. So, now one of the subtopic that here is interplay of nature and nurture. In psychology, there has been always a debate on whether a person's behavior is a factor of their heredity, that is their genetic factor, or is it a influence of their environment. So here the interplay of nature and nurture. Here the nature means genetics or heredity and nurture means environment. Please remember it, don't get confused between these two. Nature means genetics and nurture means environment. So here we will be studying these points. In nature, we will be studying how some of the researches and studies support that our intelligence is a product of our heredity. And in nurture also we'll be studying about some points that support that our intelligence is a product of our environment. So here twin studies have been conducted and adopted children studies have been done. Why we have taken twin studies? Because as we know that twins have similar genetic composition. So actually analyzing and studying their intelligence level helps us to know whether genetic has an influence on intelligence or not. And obviously adoptive parents, the environment changes, so adoptive parents help us to know whether the intelligence is a product of the environment or not. So let us look at the studies here. Correlation, as we have already studied in class 11th, it shows whether how much similarity is there between the two. So first, identical twins reared together. Now here I want to tell you the meaning of identical twins and fraternal twins. Identical twins means that their DNA composition is almost the same, and in fraternal twins it is a little different. So that is the basic difference between identical and fraternal. Now identical twins reared together have 0.90 correlation, means their intelligence is almost same. Now identical twins in a different environment have a little bit less correlation. Then fraternal twins that are reared together have a little higher 0.60 correlation, and brothers and sisters reared together have a 0.50 correlation. Here it is showing that how genetics influences our intelligence. So if possible you can learn these things, these correlations and the findings. Very important question. Most of the time this question has been repeated a number of times. uh, Explain the interplay of nature and nurture, or how is heredity and environment influence each other. So very important topic this is. So these have been taken from your book only, the correlation values. Next is research studies supporting nurture. So if you can read from book also it is fine, but here I've summarized the points. First is children's grow in age. It has been studied in researches that as children grow in age, initially their intelligence level is based on their parents only, means their genetic factors only. But as a child grows in age, their intelligence level tends to move closer to that of their adoptive parents. Now here the studies have been done on adoptive children, that when the child was adopted, initially their intelligence level was similar to that of their original parents, but since they were living with their adopted parents, so with time, with age, their intelligence matched with their adoptive parents with time as they grew up. Now, it has also been seen that children from disadvantaged homes, means people and children who were not getting enough resources, economic conditions, when they were adopted into families with very high socioeconomic status, who were very rich, they had a lot of resources, a very very good and nurturing environment was provided to them, to the people who were to the children who were very very disadvantaged, it was seen that their intelligence scores increased, which means that nurture or environment also has a very very important role to play in intelligence. Next, environmental deprivation. You must have seen, I will not say that children who are poor or who do not get many opportunities, they are not intelligent, but environmental deprivation means how their environment is. Obviously, it affects their way of thinking, way of perceiving, and hence they have lowered intelligence. So, if there is a person who has been facing a lot of environmental deprivation, you will see that intelligence level will be lowered. Rich nutrition, good family background, and quality schooling. All these factors are examples of nurture only, means environment only, and in researches it has been proved that it leads to increase in intelligence. So basically, we have seen studies supporting nature also and studies supporting nurture also. So we cannot say in conclusion that only heredity or only environment can lead to a person's or can influence a person's intelligence. Heredity can best be viewed as something that sets a range within which an individual's development is actually shaped. So obviously there is a limit, and that limit is set by heredity. For example, apart from intelligence, I will give you very very simple example. If a person is in his or her genes only, it is there that the person will be the person's height is very less. Parents also, and genetics, genetically the height is very less, it is in his genes. As much basketball or volleyball or whatever games he will play, there will be a little bit improvement, but genetics sets a limit to an extent to how much the development will take place in that person. You cannot just avoid that genetics does not play an important role. And in the same way, the type of opportunities, the type of support, the type of resources that we get from our environment also shapes our intelligence. Okay, so we'll start with assessment of intelligence later.